All right, I think we're live. Let's go down to Jerome's. Happy halftime for the Minnesota Vikings, leading the Atlanta Falcons 14-10 as they head into halftime. Almost said overtime. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. My hat can't take an overtime game this week. But the Vikings get the ball to start the second half. Just had a big-time goal line stand against the Falcons. And it was a good but imperfect first half for the Vikings. And it did show that the Vikings are clearly the dominant team out here. But a couple of big-time plays that the defense gave up on third down to frickin' Darnell Mooney. It was Mooney. And that's why the Falcons are still in this. And I will say, I don't understand some of these decisions that the Falcons are making, as well as the special teams errors that are giving the Vikings extra lives, but certainly will take them. But overall, like Sling and Sam Darnold is out here operating. Aaron Jones is running hangry. Jefferson and Addison both on the board with the touchdown, best wide receiver duo in the National Football League. So overall, I mean, it's been pretty good, especially on offense. Now, ideally, the offensive line will get their ish together. Darnold's already been sacked 3 times, pressured on a bunch of other ones. Almost had disaster with a potential strip sack, except Darnold's arm is clearly moving forward. But overall, Darnold is operating efficiently. 132.1 quarterback rating, 2 touchdowns. Even though, I mean, did he get a little bit lucky on the 49-yard heaved Addison? Maybe, but we'll certainly take that. Love that Justin Jefferson getting off the schneid, getting back in the end zone first time in 2 months. And also Aaron Jones, like we said, 7.4 yards per carry. He's just out here doing the damn thing. And with Kirk Cousins, so the Vikings are indeed after that ass. You look at Cashman, you look at Diamond Dallas Turner, getting some good pressure on him, as well as the interception Tellus with Metellus, which is fantastic as well. But Kurt has dropped some dimes. That long one to Mooney, that 28-yarder on third down on that first drive, which really basically pushed them into the end zone, which is kind of annoying, but sort of is what it is, right? So also what we're doing on the live stream is annual holiday fundraiser. So every dollar donated to show in December will go to Salvation Army Twin Cities, as well as Toys for Tots. So super chats, like if you got a question or comment, we'll read it if you toss a couple bucks in the super chat, as well as Venmos, Cash Apps, and also you can donate directly to Salvation Army and Toys for Tots. Links in the description. And first one is Kiro. Bradbury gone after the season. $10 in super chat. Yes, I mean, he just gets beat too often, and there's too many miscommunications up front. It's Garrett Bradbury is to the Vikings what Daniel Jones was to the Giants, where you have all the evidence in front of you, and you overpaid him, but you're like, nah, he's going to turn the page, but ain't going to happen. Josh Brown's $2. Redmond looks great. Turner as well. Let's go Jets. Jalen Redmond has been phenomenal, man. So starting in place of Tillery, had that big pass broken up on third down, forcing the Falcons to that last-second field goal. So he's out here doing work. You also got Turner out here making plays. Also had a huge quarterback hit on Kurt. It's almost like he wasn't the same after that. Jamin Davis is having a sack. Also, you see Gabriel Murphy has been rotating in on the edge. So, I mean, the Vikings are getting ready for the playoff run. Like, they're getting some of these young guys some work in there, and they're just showing off their depth. It's really good. It's really fantastic. Also, Wrath of Death, $1. What up? Benjamin Burrito, $2. Dream Super Bowl matchup. I'd like Chargers versus us. I'd say Bills-Vikings, just because 0 for 4, 0 for 4, someone's got to win, and then the Vikings will indeed win. Oh, Hadrian S. OG Jerome, $5. Andy, my wife was indifferent to football. She's not only a Vikings fan now, but she also watched your show with me. Shout out from Denver. What up? Hadrian's wife, you seem like an awesome person. You should have better choice in men. No, I'm just playing. Hadrian, definitely an OG Jerome. So love it. And I don't know, like, I feel like this Jerome is like this Jerome community is definitely that. I don't want to say that we could start a cult, but we definitely have that in our back pocket. I tease producer Allie about that all the time, and she's like very much like, no, you can't start a cult. Watch me. Dumpster cheese, $20. Great photo with Jerome gear coming. What up? Awesome, love it. Griffin Dahlberg, $2. Is there any reason TJ hasn't been more involved? That is a very good question. Just realized that he hasn't had a target as of yet, but I'm sure that'll open up. The Falcons are really solid in terms of down the middle coverage with Bates and Simmons, so that could be part of it as well. Let's see here. Austin Hatzelberger, $2. Metellus all over the field today. Love to see it. Absolutely. And I will say that I'm not in love with Metellus at off-ball linebacker. I know that Flores likes it because of the versatility and all that stuff, but early on, like it was very clear that the Falcons were just running straight at 44, especially on that first drive. So, yeah, put in like why are we so allergic to playing Camu? Come on, man. William Dittmer, $20 Danish. Here's another Kurt interception, 4 touchdowns from Sammy. I feel like it's coming. Like, does it just feel like another Kirk Cousins meatballs coming? Plus, I feel like the Vikings are just circling. Like, there's so many sacks that should have been out there. Also, Bijan Robinson is honestly pissing me off. Like, they called him for holding once on the Davis sack, but they could have called 7 on 4 or 5 holding penalties because every single time Cashman crashes through, by the way, Cashman is playing like a man possessed right now. Bijan just tackles him. It's such BS. It's ridiculous, man. Austin Perlert, $2. Why does the offense always seem so slow in the first half? It's a complete juxtaposition from earlier on in the year. Hey, remember when we were just getting out to like 28-point leads like no one's business? And now it's been a struggle as of late. Come on, man. Thomas Larson, $5. Jets finally, where did that go? Jets finally got an end zone. Happy for him. Can't believe it was 2 months for JJ. And that just shows the and also you look at what Hockenson and Addison have been able to do during those 2 months. It just shows the gravity that Jefferson gets from the defense. Wrath of Dash, $5. I like Kurt. Yeah, I like that. But that hit Dallas late on him was cathartic. That defense seemed to start waking up after that. Yeah, that was definitely like, oh, this is going to be different now type hit. Tom Nash, $5. What up? Woody Stauffer, $2. Yo. Duckwash, $2. Smoking that Kirk pack. That's right. Rest in piss. You'll be fine. No. DMing with the day job, $2. You think JJ gets more targets in the second half? Yes. That's something that Tom Nash, $5. What up? That's something that they need to do a lot better. Where basically the lack of targets for Jefferson early, it really is frustrating. It absolutely is. But overall, team stats so thus far: Vikings 3 of 6 on third, Falcons 4 of 8 on third. They got to clean that up. Also, stupid Darnell Mooney and his stupid. The Falcons dominating in yards so far. The Vikings, well, that first drive where he had back-to-back sacks against a team that has the lowest number of sacks in the league, which is just inexcusable. Wordiest Key, $5. Why are the tight ends so quiet? It's a good question, and I think it's something that could open up. But like we said, down the middle, with Simmons and Bates, I mean, they're just studly there. Let's see, yards per play, time possession, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Look around the rest of the league. All right, so the Eagles leading the Panthers. So a lot of people in our survival pool picked the Panthers to lose. I'm not too confident in that pick because the Panthers have been playing some inspired football lately. It really sucks that Jonathan Brooks went down with another non-contact injury on that right leg, where he tore his ACL. Hopefully it's not something serious. But the Eagles, whatever. Bucks taking it to the Raiders. Steelers at home against Browns, sure. Dolphins and the Jets. How come the Dolphins and Jets never play a normal game? The Titans and the Jaguars, whatever. Saints leading the Giants 7-3. So that's just, ugh. I feel like the problem with the bye week is that there's so many bad games right now. Kind of stinks, man. Also, hey, let us know where you're watching from and give a couple shout-outs. But keys for the second half, basically just keep turning the screws on Kurt, right? And Shaq is getting picked on right now. A couple big-time plays, win against him on third down. Really got to step up there. And that pass rush just has to get home. It just seems like the levee's going to break at a certain point, and I honestly think that Kurt could end up on his back like 5-6 times, and a couple more interceptions are coming. Plus, offensively, like they have to adjust their protection schemes because Darnold is just getting too much heat every single down. 3 sacks in the first half against a team that came into the game with 15 total sacks on the season. It just had 20% of their season sacks in one half of football. Inexcusable, right? And Darnold's doing everything they can. He's got to do that. Benjamin Burrito, $2. Favorite game day drink? I enjoy a cold twisted tea. So, I obviously enjoy partaking, but I don't do that during the game because I got to keep a clear head. to be able to complain about things and also do like the halftime post-game show. I got so the wife got me like this giant like Stanley cup adjacent. It's full of water. This one is a mix of electrolytes and also it's got like a Fresca in it, or like one of those polar waters or something like that. So, that's what I'm on right now, as well as like 3 espressos, but that's how we roll. Yeah. See a couple shout outs here. Leicester Prairie, Sydney, Australia, New Mexico. What up? Milwaukee, Algonquin for the good land, Austin, Texas. That's right. I should have beat Georgia, but oh well. Everyone's in the playoffs, so you're good. Nags Head, North Carolina. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. St. Cloud, Dayton, Ohio. Frequent flyer from Dayton. Xena, Ohio. Warrior Princess. Fort Worth. Winona, the motherland. What's up? Montreal. Nimrod, Minnesota. Is that a real place? Come on. Let's see here. Watching from the Manila, Philippines. So my buddy Nick is Filipino, and I am like predominantly Japanese, and we have said some very historically and culturally insensitive jokes back and forth throughout the years. Mainly me, because we won. Anyways, but let's see here. Great Falls, Montana. Love me some Montana. Penitas, Texas. Well, I love Montana, but I don't want to be like a hipster about this, but I love Montana before Yellowstone, and now Yellowstone has turned Montana into like basically it's going to turn into Jackson Hole, Wyoming. You know what I mean? It's going to be just like a playground for rich people. So there you go. Let's see here. Brookings, South Dakota. Orlando, Florida. ORL, Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls is my favorite city in South Dakota because it's right next to Minnesota. Satan, Minnesota. Oklahoma. Skull from Saturn. Love your rings. North Dakota. Valley City, Nodak. Brooklyn Pack. Brooklyn Pack has some phenomenal Korean restaurants. It's really good there. One of my favorite food trends is there's so many like pho and ramen places opening up and Korean barbecue places. It's glorious, man. It is where I think that is the next. Well, it's not the next wave. It's the current wave of food trends. Where I mean, a lot of Asian foods. Well, it can be unhealthy, but you can also make it very healthy. And it's cheap. It's fast. It's solid. Not a lot of artificiality to it. So love that. It's really good. Taz, $2. Watching Yellowstone tonight. So I have to stay abreast with all the stupid football. The wife and I are huge fans. We DVR it, and then we watch it on like late Monday afternoon before Monday Night Football. Yeah, so that's what we do. 2 episodes left. I hope everyone dies, except for Tate. Yeah. Oh well, Tate, Monica, and Casey. I hope everyone else can die. That's all. All right. So Pasco, Washington. It sounds familiar. Arizona. All right, so that is it for the halftime show. We blathered on too long. They're going to be back. Vikings got the ball. Go down, get some points, end this thing, break their will. Darnold 4 touchdowns on the day. Aaron Jones is going to end up with over 100. Free Justin Jefferson as well. And then we'll be back here for postgame as well as winners and losers. Guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull. Monica.